Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Azuricast. I'm your host, Bijou.
And I'm your host, Thundawave.
And I'm your third host, Vayatir.
And our guests today are the Rabbit Queen herself.
Hey, I'm Jay, otherwise known as Aiedail on the forums.
And the Benji Man, the Banana, the British God.
Hey, I'm Light, also known as Benny.
I'm going to cringe so hard.
I just cringed because you said that already.
I can't deal. Regine, why did you do this?
Fight.
So in this episode, we're going to have a fight.
Fighting is the best. Okay, not the best start. Okay. So, this week we're going to be discussing Pokemon news.
Yay!
What you got us, Regine?
So, first off, starter evolutions. Dartrix, Torracat, and Brionne. Or however you pronounce that.
I was thinking
We finally
Brionne.
got evolutions. Awesome. Still not our final evolutions, but our middle evolutions. And I only like the owl one because the other two look weird.
What? The
I
owl
like
one looks like an
Dartrix.
emo magician.
I love my owl.
But the fabulous hair flip.
That is so, like, Adam Lambert. Oh, are you serious?
It kind of reminds me of a teenager. Like, I'm going to evolve him and take care of him during his troubled teenage years before he becomes a badass.
What?
That's how I see it.
Katie, how old are you?
I thought Torracat was really neat just because of the bell. I don't know why, but I thought the bell was really a cool touch.
What about you guys?
I think they're all weird. I'm not sold on any of it at this point, and that's my opinion.
Well, I like Torracat, which is good, because I always pick the fire starter. It's just a thing I've done since I was a kid, so yeah, I'm happy with the starters so far.
Cool.
Oh, and honestly, Brionne, it looks too female, so if you get a male one, it's just going to be a very confused male.
But 87.5% of them are going to be male.
Yeah,
Also,
so
that's just
pretty much like...
God.
So it's pretty
Yes,
much
but you
like how
see-
you have like Sylveon or Gardevoir. You're like, oh, hi Sylveon the boy. He's a fabulous boy.
But Gardevoir has a male name in Japanese. His name is Sir Knight.
Wait,
That's
did
the
they
weird thing.
switch the gender ratio for Brionne?
No. All starters
No.
have 87.5 chance of being a male.
Oh, I thought you
That's
said...
just always a thing.
I thought
Or is
you
it
said...
85.5?
I thought you flipped that. Never mind.
Anyway, so aside from that, we also had news for new evolutions for lots of things.
Type null evolution hype. He's like a normal Pokemon version of Arceus. That is so awesome.
Honestly, no, that pissed me off.
He looks freaking awesome.
They freaking ripped off Arceus, and that's such a cheap move.
Okay, how can they rip
I
their
think-
own creation?
They created it to fight a threat, but they designed it based on Arceus. Its evolution looks really awesome, though. At least I think so.
The evolution is nice, but I just think the mechanics are bullshit. They're so uncreative right now.
I personally like Sarina, the final evolution of Bounsweet.
Oh, the super feminine one?
Yeah,
It kind of reminds me of Vespiquen in a way, like the grass flower version of Vespiquen.
it's
It
just
kind of
fabulous.
reminds me of Lily, just in the hairstyle. When I saw it, I thought of
yeah.
Lily.
Oh my gosh. I just
Oh,
noticed that.
We also got an
Well,
evolution for Cutiefly.
Honestly, I hope it gets
So
another
cute.
evolution and they seriously buff that final evolution, because right now its two abilities of Honey Gatherer and Shield Dust are kind of crap.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
a trash. It looks like a trash mon at the moment.
But at least it's cute. No, at least it's got that going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like saying at least my rabbit is cute even though she's mean.
What about you,
Or
Betty?
say... Okay.
Well, I was just gonna say about like Type Mel's evolution. Like, I think the whole point of it is that it's meant to be like Arceus. Like, I mean, if you look at its ability, it's called the RKS system, which you could probably pronounce as Arceus.
True.
If you said it right. I think the whole point of it is that it's trying to be like a man-made Arceus. Like, Meidion's a man-made Pokemon. Why can't they try and make a man-made god?
I bet they'll try to implement that backstory into the anime at least, or if not the game itself.
And aside from that, we have the absolutely ugly Alolan, Grimer, and Muck.
That
Alolan
Pokemon
Muck,
looks like vomit.
Alolan Muck looks better than your regular Muck, to be honest, in my opinion.
It just bothered me because they didn't change the typing, they just added a typing, which was not a different form for me.
It just literally looks like vomit. That's all I have to say about that.
Actually, one thing I've noticed about like a lot of the Alolan forms is that a lot of them are adding types that didn't exist in Gen 1. Like, a ton of them are dark. And like Alolan Volt, Ninetales is Fairy, I think, and Alolan Sandslash is Steel. So I thought about that. Like, there's only two that I can think of that have types that were in Gen 1, which are Alolan Marowak and Alolan Executor. So I was just thinking about like maybe they're just trying to add types that weren't actually in the original games.
Also, so besides that, don't forget everyone, get Ash Greninja with the Sun and Moon demo beginning October 18th, which is tomorrow.
During the time we record this.
Yeah. So yay.
And also, there's a Volcanion code distribution at your local gaming retailers. In North America and part of Oceania, the distribution ends on October 31st, while in some parts of Europe, the distribution ends on November 30th, and they're ongoing right now, so grab the codes while you can. We also have a code for a lucky listener, so if you're listening, please, in the comments of the thread that we'll be posting this in, put the code word POND, and we will add you to a lottery, and whoever wins will get the code. But remember, it is a North American code.
So you gotta remember, you gotta live in America before you enter in this contest. Sorry, guys, that live in North America.
Sucks to
We
be
still
you,
love you, though.
Brits.
We still love you, though. Or at least I still love you.
Did they run away in tears?
No,
I'm still here.
I'm just in amazement at the way you presented this. I just find it absolutely interesting. My favourite word. There we go.
Uh-oh.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Okay. Interesting. So now that all the Pokemon news is covered, let's move on to forum things. And
Yay!
both of our guests are avid RPers, so we would like to use this opportunity to discuss the state of the RP forums.
We would.
So, what are the highlights of the forums? What do we need to improve? What makes RPs die?
Okay, so I think the roleplays right now are very active in the original section and the Pokemon section. The popular series section really needs some love, which is why we are doing an event currently, which we'll talk about later on.
I think quite a lot of the problems with the RP forums aren't really a forum thing. It's more to do with the RPers themselves. As in, like, for one thing, people aren't interested in doing popular series roleplays, so the popular series section is pretty dead at this point. And it's just general problems stemming from habits that most of the roleplayers on the forums have right now.
I really like some of the role plays that are going on. They're very creative and different from ones we've seen in the past. We have different plots that are evolving and new and various characters that I'm excited to see work out and how the role plays will end.
Can you give an example?
For example, well, there's this reincarnated history roleplay that actually hasn't started yet, but the premise is that the world somehow ended, but there was a failsafe where 1,000 children were genetically taken from famous figures. And one of the characters right now is Fidel Castro. And the thing is, all they know is their name and they're trying to rebuild. They don't know anything about their past history or anything. And the thing is, it's definitely trying to start a conversation, which I think is what we're trying to do in the role-playing section, besides just having fun, is that we're trying to explore different worlds and exploring different trains of thoughts.
That sounds like a really awesome RP, and I'll be looking forward to reading it.
Yeah, the conception just sounds
I'm
quite
a history
interesting,
nerd, so yeah.
And then in the Pokemon section, there's Victory, which has been going on since November 8th of 2014.
That is some commitment.
That's amazing. I haven't seen a roleplay go on that long. I don't think in the time I've been here, so that is really neat. And there's good posts, there's good characters, and I enjoy reading whatever comes up next.
Kudos to Exploding Sausage for creating both of those.
Yeah, no kidding.
Also, another one that caught my eye was Royale's or Taller Lizzie's Infection. It's basically, pretty much a zombie apocalypse, and the characters are trying to survive and somehow find a way to stop this infection from spreading.
What I really liked about that is in the original section, there's a lot about historical events and more elemental kind of fantasy-like themes, but this is more of a science fiction postmodern theme, which I absolutely love seeing, and that I think we need more of in the original section.
And then there's also Soulmates and a car. But yeah, you know how I love Soulmates.
Regina's more into Soulmates than I am, and I created it, so that says something about Regine.
Yeah, indeed. I think Quest says quite a lot about Regine, actually.
Says, we need to find...
Maybe it's just me, yeah, it's just me.
Are you just really wanting a soulmate?
It's just me being forever alone and wishing for what never will happen.
Aw,
Yay.
Regine!
I'll be your soulmate, Regine.
Don't be so self-depreciating. That's so depressing.
I'll be your
Whatever.
soulmate, Regine.
Yeah. Hayden Hayden X Joy. Best pair.
Giving up on the destined pair? I see how it is.
No, but
I'm Dragon
they're
Ball
both
5
great.
together.
Okay. So for you non-RPers, what's your opinion on the forums?
You see, the RP forum has always been sort of a mystery to me, as a moderator/administrator, because it was always sort of that dark, mysterious section you don't really click on. You sort of just hear about it, in passing or in mod discussions, there's something going on, what's going on in here? I've got no idea, but...
The thing about the role-playing sections is either you are an avid part of it, or you do not touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And you see, it's quite interesting, because I always had an interest in RPing, but I've only ever done it on off-site forums, not on this one. and not
Tisk.
not for years either, mind you. And I can never actually put down why, but I think it's because of the journey. Actually, for those unaware, there used to be this very very long running Pokemon RP called The Journey, and it was, I think it's probably the longest RP ever on this forum, and didn't even finish. I don't think.
I thought you were talking about a metaphorical journey.
No, there's actually a Pokemon RP called The Journey, and it's long.
How long did it last?
I think it went off like 200 pages, something like that. It's long.
Oh wow.
I mean, like, there were some RPs, like, back in 2013 that went beyond 500 pages, but then you look at the posting quality, and that was before we whipped it into order.
When we tightened the requirements for posting, the amount of posting that happened went way down.
So do you think that's been a good thing or a bad thing?
Honestly, I can see it going both ways, because I sometimes wish that we did not have a limit on posting, because you do have faster paced role plays with more character interaction, but then again you don't get the quality of well written posts, and that's something that you have to weigh against each other to decide whether which is more important for a forum.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say overall it's for the best like this then?
Yes, I would, just in general, because as a writer, I do think grammar and sentence structure and, just quality of writing is something that's really important. And seeing that improve over time in the forums is something that I like and that I push for. What do you think, Benny?
The only reason I'd ever go back to not having the posting rules is pure nostalgia. Like, I really enjoyed, RPs back then, but there's no question that these rules are for the better, to be honest. Like, the difference in the posting is insane, and it should be kept this way. Like, I'd love it if the RPs could still be faster paced and have posts like these, but if it's one or the other, I definitely have higher quality posts over higher pace, faster paced RPs. Like, the first RP I was on the site was The Resistance, which was one of the ones that went over 500 pages. But,
my gosh.
I have fond memories of it, but looking back, it really wasn't that great, to be perfectly honest.
Remember
biggest
when
problem...
I went in and just, broke it down? Because they were just... Oh my gosh. The rule violations.
The biggest problem I've noticed, though, with fast-paced roleplays with low volume posts is that there tends to be more back-and-forth character interaction, if not back-and-forth posting between users, and it's harder for outside characters to break in and or advance the plot.
I've definitely noticed that just from lurking. It seems there's a lot of back and forth posting, and that sort of makes RPs a bit more close-knit, or locked out from the outside, and I think that's potentially limited to growth.
Yeah, I definitely have noticed that too, which is partially why the role-playing games, which we will be talking about, is open to the entire forums to vote on, which is trying to bring more attention and focus on the role-playing forums itself to show that it is available to everyone.
So why don't you go and talk about those now then?
I did get to talk about my thoughts.
Yeah, let Katie talk.
Yeah.
Even though my thoughts are pretty much the same as Mark's, as a global moderator, I have a lot of forums that I do like, that I like to chill at. It's one of those forums that I'm kind of like, I kind of don't really want to go in there unless I absolutely have to, kind of thing. So that's just generally my thoughts. I love reading the stories, but I was never an RPer, so I just never participated, so I tend to just not really get too involved in that, which is a shame since I am a global moderator and I'm supposed to be global, but I don't RP or anything. But
immersing yourself in the plot of an RP is so much fun.
I know, but I just never really wasn't. I never really had an interest of being in an RP, which is very unfortunate.
Honestly, it's all about what speaks to you about role-playing. For me, it is the writing aspect of it and being able to improve my writing and to see the improvement of other people's writing through different posts and through different characters, because your writing does change through different personalities, and I find that fascinating and one of the greatest joys of role-playing. And so that is what draws me to role-playing. And see, if you don't find something interesting about role-playing, it's not going to appeal to you, because there's always certain things that draw people in, and if they don't appeal to you, you're just not going to like it.
Yeah, for me, it's the world building that I like a lot. What about you, Benny?
For me, it's just, I don't know really. It's like, I think it's the same reason I like role-playing games, just immersing yourself in the world and the characters. I just find that quite fun. Like, the whole reason I even came to the forums was because of RPing. I'd seen some of the RPs on, like, from lurking, and I just decided to join in at one point, and that's the whole reason I'm even here. It's just the world building, the characters, the interactions, everything. I just love every bit of it, to be perfectly honest.
And so that's what I tried to implement in the role-playing games, which is a forum event that's going on right now. It just filled up with its 8 characters, and we are waiting. There's a deadline of October 24th, 2016 at 12 a.m. for pairings of the participants. That is participants only. But basically, the thing is that people were able to submit a character that they've used on the forums, and they will fight to the death in an arena of my choosing.
That sounds interesting, actually.
And what's good about this is that everyone can join in the voting rounds, and they will be able to choose which character will die in which round. So it will work in a hurt and heal mechanic. Wow, I'm tired. But each round will have a prompt where the characters will all interact with that prompt, and then afterwards people will get to vote based on I guess however the character responded, or however they think should die, basically. And yeah, that's how it's gonna go. I'm really excited to see what happens.
Plus, vote for Hayden McKay.
Regine, you can't shamelessly advertise.
Vote for Katie Millet.
So now that you've got Shim's logging out the way.
Characters right now have the opportunity to pair, as I said earlier, and honestly, I am interested in seeing who will pair up, because they will have an advantage in the arena. Just going to put that out there. The game is going to favor those that pair up.
That's your hint to go pair up, if you're listening.
So pair up.
Do it now, go find a pair.
Find your soulmate in this game.
Save the world.
No.
Wait. Wrong.
What?
Wrong
Soulmates
roleplay.
are in the wrong world.
Oh, you can
Soulmates
find
are
your
in
soulmate with the
Promethean.
random Hunger Game people.
But for all of
They-
you that either were not able to submit a character or do not wish to roleplay in this, you can vote and you can follow all of this. And there is a campfire, which is in the campfire section of the role-playing area, that you can chatter in, talk about anything related to the games, any questions, concerns, or comments. And this is really something for the whole forum to get involved in, to really showcase what the role-playing forums is all about.
Yay! So with that done, we can go straight to our questions, and we shall start with Jay.
Hey, so you know that I'm obsessed with Soulmates, just not as much as Regine. And
Somehow.
so, my question is, what Soulmates pairing would you be and with whom? So, Soulmates is basically, you get... Regine, can you explain this? You can explain this better than me.
Each person is born with a destined soulmate somewhere in the world, and when the two soulmates touch, they gain powers that are opposite to each other.
But yet complementary.
Yeah. So, like, fire and ice, or earth and air, that sort of thing. Or it could be something abstract, like truth and ideals.
Yes. So, going with Katie and I thought Dawn and Dusk would be a good one for us, just because, Katie, I see as, just something fresh and new, and she always comes up with great ideas, and so she's almost like the dawning of a new day, where she's always bright and happy and fresh, and I'm Dusk, and I'm always tired, and I'm ready to go to sleep, and, that's
Oh
me.
my gosh!
That's the truth.
Katie, what do you say about this?
Well,
like, in response to
that
her...
is- Thinking I'm the dawn. Well, thank you very much for that. I am very sleepy, though. I am a sleepy person, but I am glad to be bright and happy for you. That makes me the dawn of your life. That sounds so creepy, but I don't care.
Katie is the sun rising over the darkness that is my life. Yeah.
Oh, take
Okay.
the idea, Regine.
Woo!
Okay.
Woo.
Next.
Oh, do you want me to read through my whole list? Because
No, next person.
No.
Yeah, next person.
Benny, you go.
Right. Well, for me, it'd be me and anyone on the forums, and the pairing would be God and man, because I'm a god and you're all
Please,
my
no.
eons.
Why did you go there?
The battle of the egos. It shall happen one day.
I can't believe that you actually just said that with a straight face.
Okay, moving
listen,
on from that
I-
horrendous pairing that would never ever be accepted, ever. Regine, how about you go with one?
Alright. So the pairing that I would choose is one that's actually canon in Soulmates, and it's Dragon Knight. And I would be Knight because I have way too straight of an edge, and I'm a minion.
Were you
And
going somewhere?
Dragon...
That sounded
Yeah.
so wrong.
Dragon would be Mark because he is a big scary admin.
I knew this was coming.
The funny thing is, though, about that pairing is that it came up as a joke, but it actually
yeah.
became canon.
Yeah, like I jokingly suggested Dragon Fairy, and then Mari and Jay were just like, "Oh, we could do Dragon Knight," and
That's how it
Yay.
came back. Wow, interesting. Thank you, Regine.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean,
Well,
I'll
that
keep
was
bossing you
except
around
Also
forever.
one that came out of a joke.
yeah, except Tracy was Dragon, so that's fun.
That's fun.
Alright.
I'm interested to know what Mark's is.
Okay, so the one I'll pick is actually magic technology, past future. And I'm gonna be past / magic because I just really like role-playing games, and I'm like interested in history. So it's like this magic element and the history and the past of the history element. I think I think those two things go well together. I'm just very interested in fantasy as well. And I think the future part would be Jasper actually, because he's a science guy. And we just get along well in terms of like RPG discussion, both like Western RPGs, modern RPGs, old RPGs, especially just an RPG pairing. That's the only reason I can think of.
Mark, you are a terrible person.
You are. You just. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, okay? This is hard. It's all about fucking games
No,
for
you
me.
took Katie's.
Oh, did
you
I?
took mine.
Oh my
Yeah, that was my answer, except I'm past and Jasper's future. Why are you taking my soulmate? God
You
damn
never
it.
told me it was a complete guess.
Well, it's supposed to be a complete guess, but how are we supposed to know that you choose the same pairing with the same person?
I don't know. I guess we're just thinking too much alike.
Oh god, that's
there's-
terrifying.
Wow,
Mark and I are way
thanks.
too much alike, and we decided to have the same soulmate. So there's my answer. Mark's
So,
answer is
we're
literally
threesome
mine,
now.
except replace him with me.
Alright, give you a quick rundown of some other ones that I thought of. Regine and I, maybe either Sound and Fury or Thunder and Lightning.
Oh, definitely Thunder and Lightning. You guys clash so hard.
But for a fun pairing, Lemon and Lime, because
Oh my gosh.
we're lemon and lime together. A fun pairing for Katie and I would be peanut butter and jelly, just because we go along so well together. Benny and I, maybe either left and right, since we are very different and we tend to go in different directions, or yin and yang. Fun pairing tea and coffee, because you are such a Brit. And I lived on coffee.
Brett. I don't even drink tea.
I don't drink tea or
Well,
coffee.
you know what? I'm calling that stereotype on you.
And what
Of
about
course.
Mark?
Regina and Mark, knowledge and power.
Huh?
Who's which part?
Because
But knowledge is power.
Is it really, Regine?
And then my favorite one, Kat and Kay, would be mac and cheese.
I'm just so sad. I shouldn't even answered my own question. I should just have stayed quiet the whole time and waited till people realize.
Poor
You
Katie.
soulmate stealer.
Poor Katie. I'm sorry. I had no idea.
It's fine.
And for that, you're
We
fired.
just have to share the same soulmate. We just have to share the same soulmate.
It's okay.
Or
Freeze.
Jasper has to choose.
You have to split Jasper in half.
Poor Jasper.
Mark is so fired. We had to wait for him for so long just to start this call, and now he does this to Katie. It's
Wow.
unforgivable.
I accidentally did this to poor Katie. How terrible. Next question. Benny.
Alright.
Right. So, I was going to ask a question about Fire Emblem, but Jay has not played a game yet. so I
Jay?
can't.
What are you doing
Hey,
with your
my
life?
God.
Rip.
Oh my god, Jay.
Okay,
Okay, to the
anyone
question.
that knows me knows that I do not play video games besides Pokemon.
To
That's
the
very
question.
unfortunate. Alright, go on.
Okay. So, I decided to ask a Mafia question instead. So, everyone here has played at least one game of Mafia.
I'm the best.
So, I was just wondering what attracted everyone to play their first game and how did the games go for you? Did you play well or poorly?
I'll go first. My first game was Mafia version 3. What attracted me to the game was a friend introduced me to it, and I was lurking the forums at the time, and I thought it looked very interesting. I read the first two versions, like, yeah, this looks really, really fun. And it was a chance to prove that I'm the best player, because of course I am. And this game went interestingly, I will say, because this was sort of when the game sort of expanded from 10 to about 25 players, so instantly you get all these new players coming in, and what happened was there was a mass of cheating.
Oh my gosh,
Because
Mikey.
everybody cheated, basically. Especially because Jasper, who was hosting the game, actually had to take a break because he had some real life to come up. So during this time, everyone just started cheating and sharing information. And because everyone was just too excited to play the game. So that is my Mafia story.
Was it better than this clown fiesta currently going on?
No, it was definitely worse.
Okay,
Wow.
that's good.
Next
Who's
person.
My first game of Mafia was, well, I mean, Mark was in the game when it happened. So,
Wait, was that the drunk
Oh,
market
this
game?
is the...
yeah, that,
Oh, I
yeah,
know
it was
it.
that game.
Yes!
So, I was an amnesiac, and like around day 4 or something like that, I
Fine.
decided I'd had enough with the game and decided to reveal this looker to everyone.
I remember
during play
this.
chat.
You were
And then-
actually... I hated you for that. You ruined the game by doing that.
And
That
then
was
I just-
also the Orb spin wheel game, I think.
Oh yeah, it was the Orbs game, wasn't it? I love Orbs. Orbs is amazing.
Was it also the honorary cult member game for me?
Yes, it was, Regine. That was your favourite
No.
game when you became a cult member accidentally by just being so pro-cult in your actions. Speaking of Regine, your turn.
Okay. My first game was V4. And I was Mafia. I was the lawyer back when last wills were still a thing. So lawyers could fake last wills. Mark was in the Mafia with me as well, but he died night one to the spree killer. Haha.
That always happens to me. If I'm not the spree killer, I will die to spree killer.
So, like, everything was going, like, pretty okay for me. And then I said, wouldn't it be poetic if blah 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 blah?
And this started a meme where everyone would be like, isn't that truly friggin' poetic? And eventually, basically, Regine got herself killed and died horribly and lost us the game.
To a last will I didn't even fake.
That was the worst part about that game. I was just watching it, I was just like, she didn't even make this up and she's still getting lynched for it. How bad can you be?
I've maybe cleaned up my act since then.
Just a bit, Regina. You're a bit better now, I'd say.
My first Mafia game was actually Unique Mafia 4. I signed up for it, but I actually dropped, so that's my technical first game. But the one I actually participated in was Mafia the Great Revival, and I was Vigilante, and I hated every second of it. So yeah,
Thanks.
I do not like Mafia. The fact that you have to, like, pick apart people's defenses just freaks me out. And I just don't like it.
But as Mark said in the first Azuricast, being mean is part of the fun.
Be mean is great. This excuse to break the rules of the forums.
Yeah.
I guess I can be
Katie?
very backwards.
Alright. Well, mine was either version 5 or version 6. I do not remember. All I know was George was like the host, and the theme was like something to do with like the streets or something. I don't remember. I was a vigilant.
V6.
V6.
I did spree
you,
killer
Regina.
again, night 1.
Yep.
And me
And
too.
basically, I hated pretty much Jay's story. I hated every moment of it. I was the last town person standing, and no one bothered to try to kill me because I just sucked so badly, and it was just very scarring. And that was my story.
I remember this game.
Yeah, that was
Katie,
the game when Mark and I died the same night to the spree killer.
and
Rick,
I
Mason,
was
and
Colt,
Colt.
and she was Mason, and we just died together, and it was not fun.
Truly,
It was
friggin'
so poetic.
Everyone loves a good Mafia story. If you don't play Mafia, you should come down to Games and Awareness Forum and play it. It's really fun. Don't listen to Jay. Just know what she's talking about.
Katie.
At least I stuck with it for like several versions before I just was like, you know what, screw this, I never want to play Mafia again. Which I don't remember what version that was. We said it like the last episode, so.
Woo.
I did play some. Woo.
So what is this about a quiz?
So, we're introducing a new segment
fun.
onto our lovely podcast. It is Mark's Pokemon Quiz. So, we're gonna have a nice
I
game
have
of our
the
little.
timer ready, don't worry.
We're gonna have a nice little game of our guests. So, every episode, the end of episode, you're each gonna have 1 minute to answer as many Pokemon trivia questions as you can. And the highest score wins, so we can keep a scoreboard, and at the end of the season, whoever's the highest score will get a prize from Regine, which I've just now decided.
What?
Yes, you heard me. You heard me. So,
Thanks a lot.
so ladies first, Jay.
Oh, fuck.
Wait, tell me when to start the timer.
I will.
Okay.
You have 1 minute to answer as many questions as you can. If you don't know the answer, just say pass.
Yep, got it.
And your time starts now. In the original Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, which HM is found in the Cave of Origin?
I don't know, go.
Okay, question 2. What number is Dragonite in the National Pokédex?
Oh my god, Mark, where are you finding these questions?
We just answer the questions.
Our evil heads.
What do you say, sorry?
Pass, Mark.
Okay,
P-A-S-S.
okay. Question 3. Which Pokemon is found in the Pokeball in the Celadon building?
I hate you, Mark. I think it's Eevee.
Correct. Question 4. Savolt Canyon is a location on which of the Sevi Islands in Fire Red and Leaf Green?
Didn't play that game.
Question 5. What items need to access the Hall of Origin in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum?
Azure Flute?
Correct. How many Pokemon can Eevee currently evolve into?
8.
Correct. What is the name of the ability that raises Pokemon's attack stat if they KO another
6.
Pokemon?
5.
Wait, what? Repeat?
Okay. What is the name of the ability that raises
Time's
Pokemon's
up.
attack stat if they KO another Pokemon? Let her answer
Time's
this one.
up.
Because you interrupt us,
You,
Regine.
Mark.
Regine, stop interrupting. But go for this question. What is the name of the ability that raises a Pokemon's attack stat if they KO another Pokemon?
Moxie.
Correct. So, Jay, you have answered 4 questions correctly.
Hey!
That's better than I thought you'd do after the first 2.
New high score.
New high
But then
score,
again-
Jay. 4 questions.
Beat
The
that!
first score.
Right, I'm gonna fail so badly.
So, Benny, you ready?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. And your time will start now. In Generation 3, what is the name of the island that Ho and Lugia can be found on?
Pass.
Question 9. How many new Foss Pokemon were introduced in Generation 2?
Pass.
In Gold and Silver, which of Red's Pokemon was replaced by Lapras in the remakes?
Pass.
What was the name of the only Dragon-type move in Generation 1?
Dragon Rage.
Correct.
Ding.
Name one of the 2 Generation 2 Pokemon which is a palindrome for its name.
Girafarig.
Correct.
Ding.
Before being changed to purple, Jinx's face was what colour?
Black.
Correct. Which legendary Pokemon were the first ever set gender?
Latios.
Correct. Which Pokemon was Venonat originally set to evolve into early in development?
Sorry, what was that?
Which Pokemon was Venonat
5.
originally set to evolve into early on in development of the games?
Butterfree.
Correct. And I believe time's
Damn
up.
it.
Yep. Time's up.
So you've
Damn it.
answered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. You beat Jay. New high score.
Woo!
You beat her score by 1.
So far, you're getting a new theme from me, as mandated.
So if you think you beat the score of 5, come on next week. And
Yeah.
that about wraps us up for
You
this
mean
week.
next 2 weeks?
Next 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Next
Anyway.
episode.
Yeah. That's all for this podcast. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you to our guests for staying with us today.
No, thank you, Regine. And Mark and Katie.
You are most welcome.
Thank you very much.
And see ya.
Bye,
ya.
guys.
Bye.
Don't leave love for Mark in the comments.
No,
Don't
do
it.
leave love. Leave lots of love.
Goodbye.
Bye.